There's no clever intro for this one. Today's topic of discussion involves... Oh, wait, where the f... Today we are taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Chromia, Arcee, and Alita 1. Except, I hesitate to call this Deluxe Class. You'll see why here in a bit. But just before we do that, we're going to take a look at the packaging. Ah, shit. We have Chromia, Arcee, and Alita 1. Why they didn't do it in alphabetical order, I couldn't tell you. Maybe they were going for blue and red makes purple, but you could still do it alphabetically. And it was still right! Of course, we have Studio Series. We have Chromia, Arcee, Alita 1, 8+, Hasbro. Those are very weird names for figures. We have the movie it comes from, which is probably the worst of the Bayformers series, but I really enjoyed as a kid. Starting to see a theme here. We have number 52, which means this is the 52nd set to be released under the Studio Series line. We have Autobot Symbol and Generations, whatever the hell that means. Takara, tell me, if you remember those, if you remember these guys, cool. I only remember them for the Thomas the Tank Engine sets they released. We have Studio Series again over here. Chromia, Arcee, Alita 1, all that good jazzy stuff. Deluxe Class, Classe Deluxe. It looks like I don't know how to say the rest of those. On the side here, we have more detailed shots of these three. Transformers Authentic. That's how you know it's good. We have an Autobot symbol up there. Right here, we have Transformers Revenge of the Fallen again. On the back, you have, as Emgo would say, the obligatory product shot. It does this, that, the other. And you can see right here, it has a backdrop. A backdrop. That barely works. Okay, I shouldn't really say that. You have your bio.
Chromia, Arcee, and Alita 1 are in hot pursuit of Decepticons.
It was just a Decepticon in the movie, but whatever. Then, of course, warning! Please do not eat anything in this box. It could be very bad for you. And that's basically it for... wait, hang on, we're not done. This is the backdrop. Now we could get on to... Okay, there. I forgot I crushed them with the box. Just give me a second. This is Arcee, ladies and gentlemen. And if you couldn't tell right out the gate, Arcee...
She is small as hell.
Like, hang on. Here's Girish. That's how you pronounce the name. Here's Girish, which I have on my Instagram. Yeah, he dwarfs this version of Arcee. However, apparently it's supposed to be Studio Series, so this is actually in scale to a standard deluxe class figure, which I don't have. I don't collect Transformers, if it wasn't obvious to tell. There's not a whole lot to these deluxe class figures. If I remember right, these are actually not technically deluxe, they're just 3 Legion class figures. Correct me if I'm wrong, or don't. People don't watch these videos anyways. But I think these are Legion class figures. They were just packaged all into one thing as a deluxe class figure. Because their combined mode, yes, they have a combined mode. We'll get to that later. That would roughly make the size of a deluxe class figure. But as it stands, you could fit this thing in the palm of your hand. Like, it's basically gone now. And to its credit, the set itself is actually pretty durable. You saw it. I crushed this thing with a box. You could pop up the ball joints, of course. You could probably do all sorts of things to this person. This toy. My only major gripe, at least with Arcee, this is her left arm. This peeves me a little bit, because they couldn't center it. They couldn't have it on this side, like Chromia. They have to have it on this side. I kind of understand why, but at the same time, I don't like it. Also, if you're wondering what the heck this mesh of gray is doing down here, this is so Arcee can stand up. Because without it, so she kind of just... These little parts, whatever they're called, they sit in these little grooves here. Like so. And that just stays on there like that. Unless you give it a good shake, in which case... Oh. Huh. You win this round. This can't really do very complex poses like you see in the movies. I think you would have seen something like this in the movie where she's kind of leaned forward. She's kind of like charging or something like that. Something like this. Not really possible, because if you... Oh, maybe. But if on the stand you tilt it just right... You really like proving me wrong today, don't you? The point is, these stands get to a certain point where they can't really support the characters leaning all the goddamn time. So eventually it'll just fall over. I might be able to show it off with Chromia, but for Arcee, she gets a pass. This time. Also, in robot mode, yes, the wheels do move freely, which is another reason why she can't stand on her own. But it does make it a little more fun to play with. Articulation for the Arcee sisters is pretty much universal, so I'll go ahead and leave that alone for right now. And we will go on to Chromia. You might be able to show what I'm talking about. Yep, Chromia's stand, it doesn't have the little tabs on the side like Arcee's stand does. So if you tilt her too far in one direction or the other, she will fall down. However, something that I will give Chromia here over Arcee. I honestly like the arm cannon a little better. It's not directly in the center. Big surprise. However, it just feels better, you know? And if you couldn't tell, this is basically literally just a slight remold, slight reshell, whatever the hell you want to call it, of Arcee. All of the sisters operate in this manner. So if this arm design looked very similar to Arcee's arm design, that's why. They are changed up a little bit. Like, for instance, this is Chromia's lower half, and this is Arcee's lower half. Very good. You can see that the front of the motorcycle on Arcee is a shoulder pauldron, and the front of the motorcycle is right where Chromia's crotch would be. That is a sentence I didn't think I'd say out loud, but here we are. You can bolt this in if you want. And then, just like Arcee, she has this little stand thing, which goes around the wheel, like so. However, instead of allowing her to lean side to side, that hasn't happened before. Instead of allowing her to lean side to side, this one seems to be more in line with, well, in-line poses. So she can do this, but as soon as you do that, you're gonna have problems. Now, on to the last sister, which is Elita 1. Yeah, nothing too new here. However, first of all, this is her right arm. There's no hand, it's just... What the hell is that? And this is where it bends at the elbow, so it just makes it look even weirder to me. It's not like one of those energy swords in Halo where it's symmetrical, or like one of those claws you'd see on like a crab. This is what it looks like, and it weirds me out. However, bonus points go to Elita 1 for this. I don't know why she gets bonus points for this, but she does. She roughly has the same lower half as Chromia, except this is the back of the motorcycle instead of the front. And she, of course, has her own stand, which instead of resting on the wheel, it kind of clips onto the wheel. So even if you give it a good shake, it's not gonna fall off. And that is literally it. I don't know what else you were expecting from figures that are barely the size of my thumb, but yeah, those are... Shoulder pauldron, floppy as hell. However, it does have this hinge, which is more for transformation. Head is on a ball joint, albeit a very weird one. She can't look up very far, but she can look down a pretty good far. Rotation on the arm, which is standard for all the Arcee sisters. Arm moves out, all that good jazzy stuff. Got a swivel at the elbow because there's a ball joint, and again, I do not like this whatsoever. You have a ball joint at this sort of waist area, and then you have a hinge joint, which allows for this. However, I usually prefer to keep it like that. Then you have this, which does that, but again, that's more for the transformation. And then, of course, you have the wheels, which allows her to roll. Next up is Chromia. She doesn't have a she doesn't have a shoulder pauldron, however, instead she has this wheel, which barely moves sometimes. She does still have a ball joint at the head, which, here's why it's weird. Given the right conditions, she can look up absurdly far, but it's not happening right now. She can look down about as far as Arcee can, but that's really about it. Also, there's why the bulging that the head is a bit weird for me. Has the same amount of articulation in the arms as Arcee, except this is a preferable arm gun design. Then of course you have this if you want to use it. If you don't, again, more for the transformation. Ball joint, up and down, swivel, and then more wheels. Finally, there's Alita 1. She has basically all the same points of articulation as her sisters, except with the addition of this. There's a wheel right here, which... As for accessories, we have 3 of them. None of which go to Alita 1. We'll go over this accessory first. This one is blue, so you'd think that it goes to Chromia, right? Well, apparently, according to the instructions, you are wrong, because this is apparently Arcee's accessory. That totally doesn't look weird at all. However, if you prefer blue to blue, you can still put it onto Chromia's arm, which honestly looks better to me. You have this arm blade, which is really the same story. There are 2 pegs right there. You go into those 2 holes, right here and right here. Fits nice and snug into there. And that is overkill if I ever did see it. Now, this one, which I typically associate with being Arcee's accessory. This goes over the arm like so. Yes, I'm not kidding. I should probably show that actually. There's a little tab right in there. You can barely see it. It goes over this little slot right here in the arm. Sometimes like that. Now she has an arm gun. So now that we have gotten through all of that, time to rip off Jobby the Hong. However, something that's kind of universal for all the Arcee sisters, you take the stand off, and you put it in your ass. Where the hell did that go? And it's sometimes a bit of a problem to get it out once you are converting back to robot mode. So what I like to do is I grab this blade here. I kind of do that little number, and then I just bring it out all the way like so. And right now, there we go. This is the one time I'm having problems with the transformation. Then this part's irritating. I have a motorcycle, which can actually stand on its own. I can only kind of roll, because it mostly does sliding. Here's where that joint comes in handy. Kind of. God damn it. Oh, that's why you're not going in all the way. This tab, for some reason, it doesn't go in all the way. It doesn't sit flush. Then again, if it did, it would probably break. But yeah, now you have another motorcycle. Alright, last one. Off the camera. Off the camera. Sorry if that transformation sequence was a bit not good. I'm not used to transforming things on camera, if you couldn't tell. But here we have all of the Arcee sisters in their vehicle modes, which is A motorcycle, and a motorcycle. No, I do not know the names of these vehicles. If anyone does know, tell me in the comments. And then yell at me about how wrong I was when I said that these were motorcycles. I say that jokingly, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone actually got upset at me for calling these motorcycles. In either case, we have Arcee, who arguably, in my opinion, has the weakest vehicle mode out of the three. It's something alright. The front part of it sometimes doesn't want to stay put. You can see the head right there. The arm just tucks in right there. Sometimes that's not even what you do with the instructions. I think the instructions even tell you to just leave it out on the side there. No, it's getting folded up like that. Makes it a little more flush that way. This doesn't actually plug in. It kind of just sits there. Yeah, this one is the weakest vehicle mode out of the three. I'm sorry. But I'm not really sorry because, this is my subjective opinion. And plus, like, some of it, I think some of it's crooked. No. Alright. Next one. Chromia. This vehicle, you can't really see the head unless you look really hard. Never mind. But everything holds together. Nothing's gonna fall off. Plus, I like this doesn't quite tab in all the way, but it stays put, so I don't really care. And there's nothing really fiddly about this. And it's actually kind of symmetrical. And that's not to knock asymmetry, because Striker's asymmetrical, and an earlier version of a mock that I want to show off later, he used to be asymmetrical. So, no shade against asymmetry. This is a rant that doesn't need to be in the video. Let's move on. Elita 1. Again, you have the arm just chilling out here, but at least there's a groove right there, so it can chill there instead of being on the side like the instructions tell you to do with Arcee's arm. It's a bit more gappy, but for some reason it feels a little more hefty. Also, this seat, I'm not sure if you're supposed to lay it all the way down or angle it up somewhat, but I just do that. You can't see the head no matter where you look on this one, and if you do, you're cheating. If I had to give a ranking, I'd see Chromia's is the best, followed by Elita 1, and then Arcee. Sorry, I know you're probably the most popular, but your vehicle mode sucks. Now, I do not have the heart to try and turn it into its combined mode on camera, because it is hellish. So I am going to take all three of you, and I'm going to get the combined mode ready off camera. Spoiler! It's not gonna make the pain go away. In like basically any sense. Not just like any sense of the word, like any sense. Like sight, feel, smell.
12 seconds later.
Your eyes do not deceive you. This apparently is the official Studio Series Arcee Sisters combination model. I hate it. Like, I actually hate this. It's confusing enough on its own because there are no official instructions for this thing. But also, as a cherry on top of this shit-filled sundae, it is very fiddly to actually combine. Like, I applaud Hasbro and Takara for using the stands for the Arcee sisters. Like, you could see one of them. Hang on, I need a pointer or something. Spinal, give me a mace. You can see one of them right there. This is actually Elita 1 stand, and it's being used to connect Chromia to Arcee right there. And then, if we go to the bottom, which I'm scared to even do, we have this stand, which is actually Chromia's stand, and it's connecting Elita 1 to Arcee. Then Arcee's, that's literally the only stand that is supporting their weight. This I kind of use as, you can't see that. This I kind of use as a stand to keep everything else afloat, because this alone isn't going to do it. God no. But, yeah. This crescendo fuck. This is the Arcee Sisters combination model. I like what they were going for, but it is fiddly as all hell, and it will fall apart at the drop of a hat. Actually, hang on. I want to see some. Go Gadget, Hero Factory armor piece. Well, I'm surprised. What if I just flick it right here? Wow, but you cannot give it a good shake, otherwise everything falls apart. This is what's left of the combination model now. And you can see all the Arcee sisters are just in very messed up yoga poses. They do not seem very comfortable at all. If you want to figure out how to transform this thing, don't! Like, Supreme Class Devastator has more pulsability and is easier to convert than these three. And I can guarantee that you're going to get a lot more enjoyment out of him than combining these three.